Hey, if you're new to this channel, my name's Dan Johnson, and I spent 15 years working for Boeing and Amazon, doing everything I was taught, taking on extra projects, working over the weekends, and maxing out my 401k to make sure I'd have enough money for retirement. Then, about 2 years ago, my career and income started to flatline a bit, and I had just turned 40. So I decided it was time to meet with a financial advisor and really start getting my retirement plan in place. Considering I had been sacrificing a lot of my youth in order to max out the 401k, I figured the advisor would tell me I was exceeding my plan and that I'd be able to retire early. What I heard was the exact opposite. There's no way to guarantee what was in my 401k would be available as income to me. So instead, what my advisor said, if I wanted to guarantee I'd have enough money in retirement, I only had three options. One, if I wanted to keep the retirement plan that I had in place, I needed to work longer. Two, the other option to keep my plan in place, stock more away and save more now, sacrificing more of my lifestyle today. Or three, lower my expectations, which in reality meant leaving the city I grew up in, the friends and family I've built relationships with, in order to move to a lower income area. But think about it. Don't you retire to spend more time with the people that you love? I wouldn't accept those options. And what I've learned has put me on a mission to teach corporate Americans the financial options available to you so you can maximize income in retirement using the least amount of dollars so that you're able to align your finances with your values and goals. 2 weeks ago, I started a series about why I thought tax rates might go up. 2 weeks ago, why is that important? Even if you're able to grow your 401k portfolio to a big number, if the government's taking more and more of it out, that's less income you can actually spend. The reason I think tax rates might go up? Social Security. They just released a report saying they now think by the end of 2032, the Social Security Trust will run out of funds. Now, that doesn't mean Social Security will go away, but what it does mean is that it will only be funded by payroll taxes. And as of today, payroll taxes have a 4.65% gap versus what Social Security is paying out. It's offsetting it with the Social Security Trust. So if that goes away, we lose that buffer. And it means we'd start to receive anywhere from 20 to 30% less in benefits, which can equate to $500 to $600 per month. Another thing to think about, what if it's not just newly retired people? What if they applied that across the board? How would it impact your parents if they started receiving $500 to $600 less in Social Security? And is there a chance you might have to help them? So how did this happen? There's a couple key things we'll just touch on quickly. First, birth rate has decreased pretty dramatically, more than 50% since the 60s. Second, we used to have 5 people working for every 1 person receiving Social Security benefits back in 1960. Today, that number sits below 3. And finally, one that's good news, but still impacts what we receive in Social Security, would be that we're living longer. The person on average used to live maybe 5 to 10 years into retirement. Today, that number is ballooning closer to 20. Now think about all the things we just talked about. If even half of what we've heard about AI is correct, those numbers are going to get worse. We're going to live longer, and there's going to be less jobs for the rest of us. So this is a real concern that we need to deal with. So what options do we have? Well, I hate to say it, but they're not great. One, we do increase taxes. So right now, payroll taxes sit a little bit above 12%. We would need to increase that to closer to 17% in order to close that gap. Yes, that would be split among employers and employees, but who among us thinks corporate America employers are really going to take the tax hit and not reduce our salaries? Second, we can increase the age at which a person receives maximum retirement benefits. Since 1960, the average person lives 14% longer. However, they only have to wait 3% longer to actually receive full benefits. Those numbers won't line up for long. Third, we can reduce benefits. So the Wharton model budget is saying if we reduce benefits by about 28%, we will be able to make up the gap that we see today. But that's 28% less you would receive today. It's a pretty dramatic hit. Finally, there's one option no one talks about much, but it would just be to keep increasing the federal debt. Just keep adding money to the pot and pretend like nothing else is happening. We spoke about why federal debt maybe isn't a great thing to have in my last video, which I'll link here below if you want to learn more. In reality, it probably would be some combination of the four, not one standing alone that the government would look at to fill this gap. But honestly, if you consider any of those combinations, which sounds appealing to you? We've actually seen this before. In 1983, the Social Security Trust realized it was about to run out of money, and the government did take action back then. They took two steps. One, that's when they increased the age that you could receive benefits from 65 to 67. It was a slow build though, and we're still getting to the point where people just now retiring don't receive their full benefits until 67. The second thing they did, they increased the payroll tax rate. And guess what? That's the one that had the bigger impact. That's the one that did a better job of helping fill that gap. Now, I'm not saying that the tax rate for sure will go up, but think about the things we just talked about. How would those impact your retirement plan if any of those come to fruition? Now think about, is your retirement plan considering any of these things? Are you stress testing your plan against these different scenarios to see what the likelihood is that your plan would make sure that your money lasted your entire life? Many of us in corporate America are just taught to max out our 401k and get that number as big as we can and that everything will be fine. But there's so many different things that play into that we must consider. Because in reality, money in a 401k is just on a balance sheet. We need to turn that into real cash that we're able to spend to live the life that we want. If you're not sure if your retirement plan is prepared for changes to Social Security, or if you just want to run some stress tests against it, please DM me and we can have a free consultation to